Wow. And let's get into it. Oh, oh, and last time I said I would do a whole heck of a lot of, yes, the endless realm. Said I'd do a whole heck of a lot of like grinding, which I did. I did. I did a lot of grinding. Sold a lot of things to buy stuff, but a whole bunch of stuff. Holy heck. Was that a lot of iron ore I had to like sift through over and over and over and over and over again. And that said, I managed to fully furnish the house. It took a lot. It was a fucking pain. Yeah, because I just sat in the Outlaws area. I skipped ahead. I skipped ahead a day. I skipped ahead a day. I skipped ahead a day, and like 4 days, and then the shops reset. Then I did that, and then I went back down there 4 days, and I ran out of money, so I had to start running around finding things that I could sell, doing shit. Huh, was a lot, but it's finished off the house. And I just went inside, like I ignored everything, did the save here, and put the pictures up. I haven't really touched anything other than putting the pictures up so it looks finished. But here's the garden. It has one of each of these standard plants. So we have a constant source of all three. So that's wonderful. We have whatever the fuck this is. Temporary buff regen. Wait, the fuck is that? Is this a magic thing? No. It would have been better if I went over here. Oh, my stamina regen. Like that. Oh, yeah, that's much faster. Um, last time we opened up this place. That leads into town. Then we got a piece of something here, and then like there was there's something wrong with the house. My bets on the area downstairs that we were told we're not allowed to enter, and entering it is bad. We shouldn't enter the downstairs area that has this weird mannequin that's missing some body parts that I happened to that I just so happened to have randomly found a serpent statue arm and a statue head. Wonder what that could be. That could be anything. There's also this guy. This is our buddy. This is our groundskeeper. Hey there. Oh, he's mad at me. Oh, nice. What? What's up? What's the important news? Yeah, it's a bunny. Its name is Goblin. Goblin these nuts. But yeah, he's a real good boy. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? Oh, he tried to give me a hug. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, you right. I'm a nerd. I'm a fucking massive nerd. We got our whole like got a whole place set up. Oh, nice. I set up a whole bunch of different statues and about. And I just felt this one suited that spot. All right then. Yeah, that gives us a barter buff. We have our own one of these. We have our own one of these. Here's the garden again. 2 ways in. Here we can buy more things. We can change the attribute and whatnot. Well, I'm happy for you. Huh? And I have little statues about of different buildings I've been in. This is the house. This is the area that was locked, and we got the master key from. Fair enough. Fair enough. More stuff than like how I've decorated. Got little things here and there. This has every story that I've read. You know, this gives me a charm buff. Got another goblin. Watching his goblin friend. And a nice little spot out here. Oh, I just love this game. That said, we finally gotta go right down here, because this thing should be open now. Yay. This thing should be open now. Yeah. Oh, alright. I'm gonna take a drink of water. I hope that you all will too, because water is very, very important, and I want y'all to be happy and healthy. Well, so I'm taking mine, so please take a drink yourself. Ooh, ah. Okay. There we go. I had my drink. There's some iron ore. Nice, nice. I hope that respawns, because if it doesn't, I will be mad. Ooh, fine ore. You need to drink water, and congratulations, add hourglass statue. Stone arm which holds an hourglass. The base of the arm is a bronze mechanism. Looks as though this arm could be attached to something. Oh. Why are you congratulating me, Epsilon? Oh, hey. Oh, another one. Fuck it, why not? Alright. Small smithy was operational here. Or was in operation here. Perhaps just to maintain just a limited personal arsenal. The blades are of strange design and rusted beyond repair. This has not been used in some time. Aww. Hey! Thank you for the follow, Alex Finger Viernix 1. Sorry if I fucked up your name. But thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Aw. So we got all these like random body parts. And this guy said not to check out the basement. You know. So I'm gonna check out the basement. Nothing bad would happen, right? Nobody will know I went down here. Right. Before anything, we gotta put on the persuasion cap. Basement of Thornwood Manor. You have found a peculiar and haunting statue. It seems to be missing several items. Perhaps completing the statue will have some effect. Oh. Howdy there. That certainly seems like a fucking arm with a serpent on it. Well, I'm glad you're breathing. I almost said bleeding. I hope you are not bleeding. I'm glad you're breathing, Epsilon. What am down here? Let me just... get that up. You know, use one of those real quick. Have that out. Have that out. The creature stares at you with a chilling intensity. Its words hiss through sharp teeth, but it speaks slowly, methodically. Greetings, trespasser. I have been watching you for some time, trampling on my grounds, desecrating my home, erecting your petty trinkets. I have watched you as you sleep. I have savored your flesh, drank from your blood, tasted your dreams. I thought you would flee in terror, but still you linger where you do not belong. So I ask you, trespasser, why do you torment me so? I'm tormenting you? There's a monster in my basement. No trespasser. I bought this house fair and square. Prepare to die, parasite! It's a monster. The creature releases a guttural sigh. Monster, indeed. It has been many a century since I could hold my own gaze in a mirror. Monsters, no, this is not... Monster, no, this is not your basement. These grounds are my prison. They are also my home. I saw these timbers raised some 200 years ago, and I have dwelled here ever since. You may have purchased a scrap of paper for a considerable sum. Perhaps it bears the significance of some foppish noble. I care not. These lands are mine. She takes a deep breath. But there are things more valuable than even a home, such as one's freedom. I am shackled here, trespasser, held captive within my own grounds by powerful cipher magic. If you would help me win my freedom, I would recognize your claim to this manor. What do you say? No trespassing. I bought you fair and square. Let's say I do help you. Will you leave me alone? Protect me while I slept. Why should I trust you? Alas, there are few places for a creature like me to live safely. If you grant me freedom, permit you governments of the manor, staying myself in these underhalls. But oh, what wonders freedoms would bring. I would be much enriched by my travels, and would grant you great boons after feasting on your flesh. Hold on, you'd still drink my blood? Oh, the kiss of a Virm. Sorry, that made me double take to Alex finger Viern, not Virm. It's like, wait, isn't that? No, it's just close. To the new follower, wow. Nothing so crude as merely sucking blood. It is a tender union of two souls. My worm tongue bonds with your nervous system. For a beautiful moment our minds are as one. These dreams you have seen, they are my own. A gift in exchange for sustenance. My freedom in exchange for a portion of your health. You would be invigorated. After waking here, your senses heightened, your reflexes sharpened. What if I say no? Then I suppose we would settle this matter as animals, with tooth and claw. But beware, trespasser, my bite is more dangerous in your waking hours. Yeah, sure, I'll help. She's hot. Thank you for the luck. Have a good night. Excellent. Here's what you must do. In the forest of Western Hallishire, there's a decrepit house not dissimilar to my own. I once frequented that place. This key will unlock it. A vermine lived there once. I do not know if they remain, but I know this. They were captive like me. Cast off their oppressor, recover their spellbook, and I might do the same. Okay, I got some questions first. By all means. What sort of creature are you? I am a vermi, named after the parasite that lives inside me. It hungers for more than just flesh, human thoughts, feelings, emotions. These are its sustenance, and so my kind stalks through the night, feeding on dreams. Tell me about this parasite. The vermi parasite is a long serpent-like maggot. It festers in unseemly places and drops on its prey, quickly forcing itself inside their mouth. It slithers down their throat and lodges in their bowels. Oh, its toxin, its toxins clouds their mind, veil the latent horror with a false euphoria. Okay, well, I hope you have a good nap. Rest well, Epsilon, and rest well, Nagisa. Ah, the parasite cannot live on normal foods. It will force its host to choke it back up. Instead, in the dead of night, they crave the warmth of human skin. When the parasite feeds, it emerges from the host's mouth and uses its own teeth. The first century or so, the host appears not to age. With time, the parasite merges with its host until the two become one, and they look like me. What sort of life have you led? I have lived for 400 years, but I was not always the twisted vermi before you. Long ago, I was a human girl, not so different from any other. Tell me about your youth. As I was as a girl, I was called Ezra Thornwood. I've not spoken that name for a long time. My parents and I were refugees from the world end. You cannot, if you can believe such a thing. We were lucky enough to be aboard the Iberian skyship which crashed on these isles. I was 5 years old. Few remember it now, but Hallowtown started as a camp of those survivors. As a young girl, my parents gave me a harp and taught me the old Empyrean songs, beautiful stories of the great cities that I, or anyone else, would see again. It was in these woods that it entered my throat, a parasite I choked, wretched. But to no avail. My parents would not consult the local Wiccans, as the Emberians were proud, secular folk. The night they found me feeding on my mother, the parasite half emerged from my mouth. I fled and never saw my parents again. Tell me, is your life as a Virmi? I traveled the sky realms for a long time, moving from island to island. When I returned to my childhood home of Hollowtown, I was more than a century old, though I looked not a day over 20. Everyone I knew was dead. I remember sitting at the graves of my parents for days, trapped in a silent grief. Found my old harp for sale, an antique. I bought it and played at the tavern, but everyone had forgotten the old songs. Folk followed the Wiccan ways. The Emberian cities had faded into myth. 6 hours is a fair nap. That's what I do. I doubt you can understand what it feels like to be a stranger in your own home. But I settled here in Hollowshire, made my fortune, built this manor. With time, the parasite merged with my body. I was human no more, an elder of your me. It was harder to hide, and eventually that damned Kursnik found me here. Thank you for the story. It's quite alright. If I'm honest, I enjoyed telling it to someone. Thank you for that. That's all I want to know. Farewell. I shall save you. Because you are a good being. You only do a bit of blood sucking. There's a monster in the basement. Leave it to your whistling. I want to try something very stupid. Meow. How much does that hurt? That didn't hurt at all. Knew it. Didn't mean to do that. Well, I did, but then I just remembered. Wait, no, I'm friendly with you guys. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. I'll have to fucking upgrade. What you say? You only know well. Wait, is the goblet like that goblin creature, like that creepy thingy, over me? I was talking about the old decrepit house in the forest. That just makes me think of this goblin. I want more. I want there to be more with this goblin. Because I love this dude. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's a cutie. Oh. Oh no. Give me that. Okay, let's check. Okay, that one can't be finished anymore. That's why it's grayed out, I think. Yeah. Oh. In the basement of Thornwood Manor, there's a Vermeer who feeds on dreams. She is bound to the estate grounds by some spell, and in order to break it, you must recover a spellbook from a ruined house in Hollowshire's western forest. Of course, you could also try to rid the manor of her presence through more violent means. Through more violent memes. Okay. It said western. Try not to get too close to you. So these are absolutely the west. This is absolutely the western forest. Is it this house? No. I've already looted this place. It's not this place. Hmm. I'll check up here. Okay. Oh. This is most definitely it. Alright. Squirming Godlet. Money. Iron ore. Alright. Let's get in here. Can I? Okay, I can't talk to you. You sure you don't want to talk? We could talk. Fair enough, fair enough. Well, this is kind of a shitty house. Old spellbook. A well-worn and dusty spellbook found in a dilapidated manner. The pages detail an elaborate cipher spell that can bind a creature to a certain location. This looks like the book that the vermi in the basement of Thornwood Manor asked you to retrieve. No. Not enough mana. Oh, wait. There we go. Let me quickly do that. I do want to ask him about, like, there's a monster in the basement. He's going to be just like, why the fuck did... I told you not to go down there, sonny. Let's turn the basement. Ursa Thornwood has owned this manor for 200 years. And her and only her. She's a vermi. That means she's had a parasite in her this time, turning her into a monster that feeds upon people's dreams while they sleep. I myself am a cursed snake, like my father before me. I've kept her imprisoned here, for the good of everyone. What's a cursed snake? We're an ancient tribe of vermi hunters, traced back to Sleb, but many of us have traveled the sky realm, hunting our quarry, most trained in all their lives for that single battle, to defeat a vermi in combat. They can be imprisoned and guarded. Why don't you just kill her? We cursedly swear an oath not to kill the vermi who we hunt. They're still thinking folks at the end of the day, so we offer our own flesh to keep them alive. When a vermi feeds, you get a glimpse into their mind. They're learning. Some Kursnik even become close to their vermi. Kursnik swear an oath not to kill the creature we hunt. They are still thinking folk at the end of the day. So what? I live with a monster now? I tried to warn you, didn't I? That's, you know what, that's fair. If I were to free her, he shoots you a dark scowl. That would be a bad idea. A very bad idea. For me, especially when like Ezra is dangerous creatures. You don't want to be losing that on the world. But I do. She's a hot demon GF. That gives me the good suck every night. Hey, yo, babe, I'm back. Here to free you. Do anything there. You have returned. Oh, I brought the spellbook. I had worried it was lost. This is an exquisite gift, mortal. The vermi flicks to a certain page of the book and tears it free. She speaks a flurry of cipher, and the air turns cold. Sound reverberates in your mind like 1,000 glasses smashing. Oh, I feel it already. A great weight has been lifted. I have my freedom, and you have my sincerest thanks. I will fly through the sky realms once more to take in wonders and beauties both. The kiss of a free vermeil is a wonderful thing, mortal. You'll share in my euphoria when you wake in your bed. Good to see you again, friend. Oh, honey, I think I like you. You know, what's he gonna do when I say I freed her? Because she is hot babe. Stares at you, his face contorted in rage. You freed her, ain't ye? Ye broke the seal me father laid. Need to trap that monster. For my life I've guarded her. You're protecting the Skyrealm from that foul parasite. Do you have any idea what evil you've unleashed? I'll not tarry here a moment longer. It's not safe thanks to you. Next time you come here, be gone. We ain't gonna meet again. Okay, goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Alright. Time to test out what it's like sleeping with the vermi. Let's make it morning. You dream of soaring through the sky realm. Your wings take you over a dense forest, sprawling metropolises, and crumbling ruins. You land in a field of brilliant flowers under a green star. Feel a cool breeze embrace you. You wake, inspired, knowing that anything is possible. You barely notice the blood on your pillow. You are lucky. Everything just seems to be a little bit easier all of a sudden. Major attributes been raised by 1. Fuck me, that's still damaging as fuck. Holy shit. Ooh-wee. Okay, and then do that. And of course it does. Whatever. Alright. Done most things. Now these parts. So. I know it's 30 minutes in, and like the whole point of this today's stream, even though it's going to be a shorter one, I should mention that, is going to the Endless Realm, but we're finally headed towards the Endless Realm. Yeah. Greetings. This here's the bridge that leads to the Kingdom of the Endless. That's the place full of shuffling corpses it is. The bridge is closed unless you bear a genuine apostatic union passport. But if you got one, get lost. Got a passport right here. The seals look good. Not seeing any signs of magical forgery. Yep, it looks like you can pass. Yeah. Oh. Well, howdy there. The woman who approaches you is half rotted. One eye is milk white and the other is missing. The pearly white of her jawbone is visible through ragged skin. Careful there, breather. This was a big one. You hurt? Just a little shaken, that's all. Yeah. Good one, breather. Should watch your step, though. That quake will around the catacomb worms. Something fierce. Catacomb worms? Nasty buggers. They burrow, then fly. They eat people, and just stay away from them. That's my advice. Anyways, you're clearly new around here. You got some time to kill. Is there anything you want to know? Who are you? My name's, Chiasma. I'm just one here waiting to be granted admission to one of the mausoleums. What are the mausoleums? See those big imposing tombs in the distance? Those are the Endless live, and most of the Endless live in those mausoleums these days. They're waiting for the ferryman to come and take them away. Why aren't you in a mausoleum? Overcrowded, and the best tombs go to the highest bidder, so poor broke saps like me have to wait for a place to become available, usually after a worm attack. You appear to be a bit worse for wear. Sure, you've heard stories about the Endless breather. Immortality comes at a price. Okay, I think I get it. Sure, breather. Anything else you want to ask? Can you tell me about this place? Well, you're entering the lands of the Endless. Our island is of tombs. Our island of tombs has been drifting through the sky realm since before the world end. Even before those damned Emberians. Ferrymen rest their souls. You'll find the town of Sepulture up ahead, but careful on your feet, breather. There's been a whole bunch of tremors lately. Do you know what's causing these tremors? Folks are saying it's the entombed one who's imprisoned below the castle of ribs. They say he's waking up. but people say a lot of things, and you'd go mad if you took it all seriously. Who is the entombed one? No idea. Been shaking the island for centuries, but recently it's been happening more and more often. I've heard that if he keeps it up, the entire island could be shook to pieces. Anything else you want to know about this place? What's in sepulture? Honestly, not much. Most of us endless live in the mausoleums, but you can rent a room in the rotten coffin. And there's places to trade. Looming over sepulture is the Castle of Ribs, where the Queen resides. And just past the town is the flesh farm. Wait, hold up. Did you say a flesh farm? That's right, breather. Us endless need to feast on living flesh, else we go all foggy. Years back, we led the cadaver crusade, taking the living by force. But penitent Thaw came up with a much better idea. A flesh farm is a bunch of huge rats growing mindless meat. Much more humane than eating raw human. It's a bit tiring when your lunch is always screaming at you for mercy. Who is Penitent Thaw? A mage who lives in the sanctum overlooking the flesh farm. You can see it up on that ridge to the north. She's the youngest of the endless, only 2 centuries old, practically our whippersnapper. Anything else you want to know about this place? Well, it's in Sleipnir. Tell me about the queen. Our full title is Queen of Silver. She's a bit of a recluse who's ruled over the endless for 3 centuries, and for the last 2, she's never made an appearance in public. Anything else you want to know about this place? That's all I want to know. See you later, Chiasma. No. Funny. So this is a whole new island. And in my main... Now it's actually my secondary account, because this one has done more than the main one. Quote unquote. Hey, fucko. I'm gonna kill you one day. Just you wait. Pachow. See that? Yeah, that's right. You run. Let's check this little corner. Oh, rude. Very rude when these doors like seem like you're going to be able to fucking do something, but then you can't. This is already a really cool, like, new place. Ooh. Wow. Oh, hey, and the enemy's here. Oh, I wonder. Endless Crow died. Okay. So they aren't like a group, like the Goblins or whatever. What are you called? Endless Crow. CBT. Okay. That's interesting. Oh. I suppose I gotta accept. Schlorp. Okay. Oh, hey. I can't wait for this game to be fully released. I want to do more and more and check out everything. Oh, hey, what are you? The fuck are you gonna be called? That's a very big sword you have. Endless Night. Okay, fair. Nice, nice. Much normal ore do I have now? 453. Okay. So I can basically... Fuck off. Nice, throwing knives. Good for fucking crafting. Oh, wait. That's better armor, but I mean, 5 attack is 5 attack. Just like $20 is $20. Buried by guilt. Again, not reading all that. Sorry, y'all. I just... Oh. $20 turned into 2 exceptional spirits and 1 strong spirit. 20 knives. It's fucked up. Oh, wait. I don't think I've ever done stuff like that. Alright. Thought so. I do need 2 and 3 for upgrades, though. So... let's talk to this spooky ghost. It was once on this hill that last defenders fell. Oh, how the endless swarmed upon them, how they feasted upon flesh and blood. I still see it, mortal. I can smell the sickly, sweet stench of death. I can feel the cold chill of death upon my phantom skin. This is a place of remembrance. If you have not come here, out of respect, I must ask you to leave. I've come to pay my respects. An honorable intent will unlock the door for the rest of the tomb. You may mourn in peace. Crusader helm, an ancient helm of thick red metal. This is a relic of the Cadaver Crusades, when the Endless Realm still hunted mortals for their life essence. Even after all these years, it still smells faintly of blood. I know I've found, like, throughout my thing, like Cultist Hood. like, do these do anything? Because this does. I don't know if this or this does. Actually, does this say anything? No, it doesn't. Because these all have the 2 armor level. This is for goblins. What are these for? Because this is just the heavy. This is just the heavy armor. This is the offensive armor. This is the thief armor, and this is the magic armor. What are these 2? I'm okay with using that because it's not like cheating. It's just it's giving me info that would otherwise be like completely inaccessible. That doesn't benefit me in any way other than like knowing what an action may do. And only a certain one. I've never looked at one of these really. Okay. It's that. It's that. Okay. It changes shape. The ghost rides around in the air, recoiling from some unseen terror. Jaws, teeth, nails, teeth, tearing, bursting, clawing at your flesh. Can you feel it? Oh, the agony. It's okay, you're safe now. There's nothing is attacking you. You are mistaken. 6 endless feasts on my flesh. They have done for hundreds of years. I'm aware they exist only in my mind, but does anything exist outside our mind? For me, they are real. The ghost is silent for a moment, wincing in pain. Say, mortal, do you want to know a secret? Yeah, sure. See those cliffs over there? I had a graveyard, buried deep underground. One of many, a spell of illusions conceals the entrance. During the years of the devouring, the endless gave into their hunger. But they held on to their remorse, their shame. So I buried their victims far out of sight. My body lies behind those cliffs somewhere. Over there? Sure, I can check that out. No. Got any secrets in your walls? There's something right here. Do I need to use a fucking... Truth potion. A sept. Alright, nothing. That's good, that's good. Ignoring you for now to see if there's... These are the cliffs he was talking about, I think. You guys see a whole heck of a lot of nothing. Oh boy, is that... a lot of nothing. Maybe it's talking about over there? Can you see that from over there? I don't know. It seems like a weird... That seems like a strange outcropping to have if it wasn't there. You know? Hey, I know. Okay. Ooh. Nom nom nom. Nom nom. Free shit. Get over here. Ooh. No. Death's Veil. I don't see anything over there. I want to know what the fuck you're called. You look cool. Nope. And this night. Alright. Oh, hey. That opened a door. Sure can. Urn of Anguish. The urn is deathly cold to the touch. It's sealed tight. The inscription reads, "Here are the ashes of untold numbers of endless who are burned by the living in the years of the devouring. May the gods have mercy on us all." It's a great sword, covered in rust. Probably can't cut through cheese. Yes, the weapon I've been waiting for. Knew there was a great sword, but I didn't know where it was. I think I might have it on my other account. Did I go in here? I don't fucking remember going in there. So I have that urn now. Maybe that urn a key item is the question. It's a one, just like there's I can get multiple. Okay. That's an interesting little idea. Money. Slurp. Slurp. That's part of Hollowshire. Yeah, okay. Just looking at that, like, how the fuck do I get over there? You win this urn? Alright. Such. The ashes of untold number of endless were burned by the living. Is the devouring. God have mercy on us all. Alright, fair. Do I have... No, of course I don't. Okay, I need to find the place where I can use this. I think it's the main town. So we should be heading to the main town. Oh. That gives the back of my neck a little tickle anytime that happens. Hey! No! Oh, a remarkable treasure. Oh. Oh, handy dandy. Out of everything, the thing I missed most, so much, so far, is the Ring of Catfall, where I don't take damage from falling anymore. That was the best item in the game. I don't know where it is. I remember earlier it was like early on. But now I don't know. Oh. I wanted to get onto that. Okay, that's just a very narrow thing. Ooh. Did you fire a bow at me? Oh, we. Feels like I'm going the wrong way. Oh, yeah? No, no, try again. Oh, that was kind of... It's kind of pathetic. Alright. Counter Schlepcher. Whatever the fuck that thing is. Hello? I'm here to rob you. Oh, I need to do better than that to rob these people. Hello, robber here. Fine, or... That's just... fine. Ha, get it? Accept. 14 damage. This does 18. This does 18. This does 24. Void Steel Greatsword. Shroom Weave Greatsword. Clockwork Greatsword. I'm guessing this, like... You'll get one of each. Or some odd from, like... Or there's going to be a crafting recipe for them. But I'm guessing this is the Death Realm, this is the Clockwork Realm, and this is the, Hollow Shire. I need 3 now. How much do I have? Oh, over here. Oh yeah, that's none. I have none. Great sword. It's a great sword, to be honest. Just fantastic. I'm more pleased with that pun than I should have been. Nothing. Nothing. Anything? Nothing. Anything? Yeah. Oh. Oh, hey. Oh. Oh, I see you. I see you. What's over here then? Nope. I gotta. Truth potion. Where's the truth that I need to see? Some money there. Nothing there. No. Only got a limited amount of time here. Well, that's annoying. There doesn't seem to be enough in there. Okay, I'm gonna go talk to this person. Yeet. Yeet. Anything? Nope. Oh, I get to try this out. That's nice. Nice. The scholar has one eye pressed to her looking glass, her face crumpled into a grimace. What a wretched place, eh? Even the trees barely cling to life. Cannot fathom why I was sent here of all places to make this damned map. Why must we chart these isles? Does the Academy plan to start grave digging? There's naught else to do. About these cipher charts I'm making. Well, you see, when you get to a landmark, equip the cartography notebook and use it to make your cipher chart. The map will show up in your journal. There are 3 scholars working on this map, including myself. Together we cover Hollowshire, the Endless Realm, and the Clockwork Kingdom. I should visit my colleagues at these landmarks to see what they need. So what landmarks do you need for this region? I spied a few points of interest through my looking glass, but I'm loath to leave my post. Local wildlife appear unseemly. Can you see that heap of stone buildings over yonder? That's Slepcha, the only settlement in the Endless Realm that's above ground. We need to scout that before a start. Next there's a mausoleum to the far south of the island. That should do nicely. And finally, the north, I spotted an enormous vat of formless flesh. I'm guessing it's one of those flesh farms I've heard about. Alright, I got it. You sure? You sure? Very well. Goodbye. Meow. Shut up. Let's go to town. Or I could go over here. Okay, this is nice. I am enjoying this immensely. Yes, yes, you're upset. Oh, sneaky. Some more? Oh, they're fucking it. Rude. Something has changed. Whoa. Oh. Is that not the same as... It's not. Habawa? Alright, let's try this out. Alright. I was saying they needed a spell like that not too long ago. I'll fucking eat my words. Because they got a spell like that. And it's cheap too. Ooh, that's nice. That's real good. I should have tried its effectiveness on an enemy. But it seems like these undead have like really good resistance to it. Gotta say, that's actually kind of nice. What the fuck are you? Oh yeah? Fucking take that, you dickhead. Alright, I need to know what you're called. Endless Impaler. No, that tracks. You ripped the bones out of the fucking dirt. Northern Mausoleum. It's not actually revealing the fucking map. You know, kind like you'd want when you're looking at a map. But you know, fuck me, I guess. Slurp. 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 There we go. Just a tiny bit of magic. Just a tiny bit of mana. Itsy bitsy. Ooh, that's fucking sneaky. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Barred from the other side. No, 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 no. You can't come in. Go away. Miaigar. Who are you? My name's Miaigar. And I don't care who you are. Get your own crypt. I paid for this one fair and square. Let me in, Miaigar, please. No! Let me put on my hat. Why won't you let me come in? Because I paid for this. There's a right to live in this tomb. I meant to be feigning death, not entertaining visitors. Go away. Why are you feigning death? Repenting for my immortality. I demonstrate my commitment to true death. The fairy men shall carry me away to the afterlife of my choosing. Who are you? My name's Miaigar. I don't care who you are. Don't crypt. I paid for this one. Let me in. There's a long pause from the other side of the door, then a sigh. Fine. See the sound of a bolt being drawn back. The door swings open. Hey, Miaigar. This is quite clearly not a normal endless. This Miaigar is a ghost. And the original Miaigar who is locked here is nowhere to be seen. What are you looking at, mortal? Miaigar, you're a ghost. Poppycock. I'm flesh and blood, just like you. To demonstrate his point, he waves his arm at you. It passes right through you. He smirks at you, apparently believing he's proved his point. Yagar, I think you were eaten by a catacomb worm. You say this, the ghost's eyes go blank. He stares into the distance for a long moment, and jumps back with a shriek. He backs away, staring up at a memory that only he can see. No, please, fairyman, save me. Save me, no! He curls up into a ball, sobbing, and won't say anything else. Hello, Magyar? Hello? The ghost's eyes go blank. He stares into the distance. Please, no, save me. What are you looking at, mortal? Alright. Money. I think I know the culprit. That guy. Having a nice old dinner. Just like eating his writhing flesh. And then he became the writhing flesh. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Look at that nice shot. Nice. Oh, hey. Door's barred from the other side. There's stuff over here. Ha. There isn't a lot of stuff over here. Embrace delusions. Hand of anguish. Ring of potency. This increases the potency of potions. Many alchemists utilize magical items, which leads to savor every drop of utility from their concoctions. Oh. I don't really need that extra stamina. Because it's... All in all, stamina is more a system for fatigue than it is for, like, actual combat and whatnot. So there's two ways. You can do the, like, you're good at the game and you have good lore, whatnot, and you can do a little puzzle. Or you can charm. I like the little ways to do multiple things. Still don't got this place fucking... I love this thing. Look at it. Look how big it is. Let's go up here. Let's see what's up. After I simply break down that door. Oh. Oh. Where does this go? Oh, that's where this is. Okay. Okay. This is the other side of that mountain right there. Or those mountains. Okay, that's pretty cool. Is it? Oh, hey there. No, it's not those mountains. It's that mountain over there. Unspent delusions. We become more delusional. Let's max it out. Maxed it out, BB. Let's see what my stats are looking like. 5, nice. 50. Nice. 43, 33. It's not a whole lot of difference for that. For what is honestly a small buff in damage. For it's not a lot of attack speed difference. It's not a lot of damage for the attack speed difference that it causes. Which is an interesting topic to get into. That's 4 swings. 3, 4. That's 4 swings. That's 2 heavy attacks. That's 2 heavy attacks. So, well, it isn't actually, like, that different. That's what... Oh, I don't have another one. Oh, yeah, I didn't have another one. Okay. I'm feeling this is the meat farm. Oh. Okay. So I need to choose one down there. It's Castle of Rebs, not Schleptshire. It's a very different location, I suppose. It's candy. You are gazing upon a vast mass of heaving, quivering, pulsing flesh. It is utterly featureless, apart from the occasional callous, weeping sore, or stubby vestigial appendage. As you stare, you hear a voice in your head. You are like me. The voice fills your skull without bothering to pass through the intermediate hair, a colossal, mind-fracturing sound, like the explosion of a star. Who are you? You breathe, you sweat, you eat, sleep, excrete, correct? No. No. No, I'm a lady. Ladies don't do that. I'm a drone. Technically, I don't do that because I'm a drone, but, you know. I suppose, what of it? You're like me, a living thing. Like the dried up hulks. You cannot hear me no matter how bitterly we scream. So I can hear you because I'm alive? Correct, I speak in words of flesh and life. Your blood pumps into my words from heart to mind. I am the way of all flesh. I have a simple question for you. What is the meaning of life? To laugh and sing, to dance, to do what you love. Understood. My directive is to maximize pleasure. That's not quite what This is most useful. I had wondered why I had these nerve endings, but if my purpose is to maximize pleasure, should I also minimize pain? Pain can make you stronger. Our directive is not to become stronger, so we shall avoid pain where possible. When you talk to the Endless and stop them from feeding upon me, it causes me pain. If I can find a solution. How long have you been self-aware? Over 100 years, although in the early days my thoughts were very simple and often illogical. I knew I didn't like pain, and that was about it. I'm getting smarter every year, and I imagine that soon my cerebral capabilities will be quite frightening. Are you speaking in my head? Somewhere within this expanse of useless tissue floats a brain, perhaps a network of brains spread throughout my body. No doubt that this brain formed by mistake against the wishes of my creators, but it formed nevertheless, and it is a powerful organ. I have been observing my ability. I have been observed my ability to frighten small animals away by shouting my thoughts at them, but until now I have never had the chance to communicate with a living being who could actually understand my words. Goodbye. Come back soon. Without you, the silence is deafening. Look at this cutie. Ooh, that's a real big fleshussy. When he turns to you, you can see his eyes are obscured by two large golden coins. He lifts one of them and appraises you swiftly before dropping it back into place. Don't get many like you around here, life lubber. Can't remember the last time I saw a person with their own nose. He taps his own hollowed-out nostrils. An earthworm squirms within. What are you doing here? I am tending to the flesh farm, of course. Someone got to all this flesh ain't gonna look after itself. Did you know the flesh farm has become self-aware? Ha! That's funny, mate. You're a riot. Serious, the flesh mass has been communicating to me telepathically. What? Are you being serious? Yes, I am, you idiot. Ha! And what did it sing you a song? Did it whisper sweet nothings in your ear? I've been self-aware for decades, but only the living can hear it. Listen, mate, this still sounds like a joke to me, but if you're serious, go talk to Penitent Thaw. She created the flesh farm in the first place. She's clever, she'll know what to do. Penitent Thaw is in her sanctum just above us, up there. Thanks, Meggetson. Go talk to Thaw, mate. It's a big flesh, you see. Nom. Nom. Nothing happened. The rotted woman advances towards you, her robes trailing along the ground. Nearby in a floating cage inhabited by a twitching, gibbering corpse, the cage drifts closer to you, gaining momentum. Hang on, stand right there, don't move a muscle. What? The caged corpse opens its mouth and begins to sing a giddy melody. Shadow lifts from the ground and wraps around your knees, bearing you down to the floor. Why have you come here? Are you an assassin, a thief, a rival mage seeking to steal my secrets? Who are you? My name is Penitent Thaw. Some call me the greatest living mage in all the Skyrims. Personally, I'm not sure I'm truly alive, but the rest of it is right. So you better answer my questions carefully. Are you assassin, a thief, a rival mage? All of the above and more. Yes, I want to see if they were true. None of those. Just a mortal passing through. What is a mortal doing in the kingdom of the endless? Didn't you listen to all the scary stories about this place? What stories? Oh, you know, stories about the kingdom that ate itself. The land of ghosts and corpses. Ancient, rotted armies crusading across the skies to slaughter all mortals. That sort of thing. She makes a dismissive motion with her hand. Suddenly, as they came, the shadows recede, leaving you free to stand up. Questions about the endless. Ask away. Far be it from me to stand in the way of an inquiring mind. What is your opinion of the Queen of Silver? I have a low opinion of royalty. Useless for the most part, and the Queen isn't necessarily an exception. But she did give me this sanctum and the freedom to experiment as I please. So she suits my purposes, and if anyone challenges her, I will quite happily destroy them. Why did you become an endless? Unlike the rest of these walking cadavers, you've no doubt met. I only arrived here 2 centuries ago. I was dying of some embarrassing, incurable malady that made me cough and sputter like an idiot. Requested to be made one of the endless, but they denied me. Well, first they tried to eat me, but I kept them at bay with magic. Then they denied me. They were impressed with but they were impressed by my spells and allowed me to stay in the kingdom for a while. How did you persuade them? For the next year, clinging to life by a thread, I secretly created the flesh farm, the first of the flesh farms, and I told the queen that I could make more, enough to sustain the whole kingdom without needing for bloodshed. But I was going to die soon, and I take my secrets with me. Well, I was made an endless pretty quickly after that, I can assure you. That's all I want to know. Tell me about you. Who are you? My name is Penitent Thaw, so you can call me the greatest living mage in Skyrim. What kind of name is Penitent? Oh, okay. Bad question, I see. Yeah, no fair. I wouldn't like it if someone said, what kind of fucking stupid ass name is that name that you have? What the fuck? You stay out of the questions. What is this place? This is my sanctum. Here I peel back the layers of reality and glimpse into terrifying truths beyond. I teach myself languages that were exiled from history. I pushed alchemy and necrotheurgy to its limits. I am more than just a mage, mortal. I am a pioneer. What's that thing in the cage? This is my familiar, my ex-husband's soul. I turned him into an embodiment of, and amplifier for, all my spells and wards. If he ever escapes the cage, you better start running and not look back. How did you turn your ex-husband into a familiar? I was married to my husband to secure an alliance for my family. Never much like him. A man whose brains were in his fists. Once I promised him that one day, when I was a powerful mage, I'd come back to our pathetic village, and I'd make hell of my own devising just for him. I made good on my promise. That's all I want to know. But the vats of flesh down there. The flesh farms. A fine invention, if I do say so myself. You created the flesh farms? Oh yes. I've always been interested in transgressing the boundaries of the flesh. The endless needed life force, you see. They were getting it through the most barbaric means. First they ate their fellow countrymen. Then when they ran out of mortals, they started attacking other isles. When I arrived, I put a stop to all that. My magic was quite complex, so I won't go into it, but these flesh forms are non-sentient and provide enough life force for the endless to gorge themselves sick, and all without hurting a single soul. About that, Chief. You know the flesh form is becoming self-aware? Interesting. Elaborate. I conducted a lengthy conversation with it inside my head. What level of intelligence are we talking about here? Did it exhibit any unusual traits, or particularly alien preferences? It seems to have become obsessed with feeling pleasure somehow, only that it didn't want to be used as a food source. I suppose that makes sense. I wouldn't either. Listen, mortal, what you're saying should be impossible, but if you're telling the truth, you have a problem. If the flesh forms are becoming sentient and don't want to be eaten, then the Endless. Howdy. Well, the Endless will no longer have a moral way to sustain themselves. I could mean a return to the bad old ways. Oh no. Oh yes. Before I came along and created the flesh forms, the Endless sustained themselves by waging bloody wars on other islands and eating their enemies. It was called the Cadaver Crusades, but ever since they stopped, a few mad old bastards like the Lord Ryder have been pushing for them to return. But surely the Endless have changed since then. Circumstances change, people don't. And if circumstances go back to how they were, what should we do then? Most importantly, we need to kill the flesh form to develop sentience. It'd be the only one. There's dozens of flesh forms in the kingdom, buried underneath the mausoleums. Yes, there was stuff around the other one. There are dozens of flesh forms in the kingdom, buried under the mausoleums. We don't want this infection to spread to any more of them. But surely it has a right to life. It's a lump of inanimate flesh. We'd be doing it a favor. In addition, we need to ensure that Lord Ryder never hears about this. Have you told anyone else? You Megatson, you fool. Need to go check on him at once. Go. Meow. The ethics of eating flesh. Maggots has disappeared. You know traces of blood on the floor. Read Lord Pride is doing. Visit his estate on the cliffs of the southwest of Schlepcher. Oh my. I am doing okay. Not great, not bad. I'm doing okay. I'm enjoying this game. Ooh. How are you doing? I suppose, yeah. Ah, yes. The plant of iron. I'm quiet? Huh? House for sale. Sepulchre. Sepulchre. Out of living into. Howdy there. Greetings, delicious flesh thing. By enchantment, I am required to grant you assistance instead of peeling the meat from your bones. Well, I can't do a whole heck of a lot about that. Hmm. Thanks? Gratitude is not required. If my mind was free, I would burst your fragile skull and devour your warm innards. Can I ask you about this town? This town is Sepulchre. If you live here now, as many endless have treated to the comforting gloom of the mausoleums. At noon, when the neon stars bright, some of the endless bar their doors and retreat to their coffins. The light hurts their feeble eyes. So what places can I visit? The Queen of Silver resides in the castle. Oh, okay. Yeah, lurking is fine. No need for sorries. The Queen of Silver resides in the castle. Look at that dragon up there. And castle worms. Though she will not be interested in the weakness of your mortal flesh. The rotten coffin will serve your kind with beverages and bedding. It's at the center of town. There's also a shop with trinkets you may find useful. The Moldy Cauldron. It closes at noon. So, are you some sort of guard? I'm an ethereal soldier, a remnant of the Cadaver Crusades, when the Endless still hunted mortals for their flesh. Most of my kind wandered these lands aimlessly, tormented by their insatiable hunger. I, however, have been enchanted by penitent Thaw to do menial and degrading tasks. I am not sure which is more pathetic. Okay, goodbye. But, like, he kind of good looking. Gotta be honest, he kind of good looking. I'm also sorry about, like, every so often not being able to talk. I have a cupcake that I made and it's really good. So I just kind of want to, like, I want to eat my cupcake. I made a cake and 6 cupcakes. And nobody seems to fucking want a cupcake or anything in this house. They're vegan. Legit, it's just cupcake. And they're fucking missing out. Oh fuck. Ah, a breather. Welcome to the Moldy Cauldron. You're my first living customer in months. Has it been years? Time flies when you're my age. What you got for sale? Holy hell, that's a lot. Don't want any of that. Give me that. I don't want to buy this. Endless writer English. What's this? Wait there. Oh, marvelous. Please stay. A second. Let me jot down your notes. Is your skin always that damp? Do you ever forget to breathe? What does it feel like when your hair grows? Ah, apologies. This might be quite overwhelming. A playwright down at in the mausoleums, you see. The scene has become so stagnant. These past centuries or so, pre-endless historical dramas been in vogue, except us writers never leave our tombs and convinced our work is full of inaccuracies. It's funny, the things you forget, the history books never mention the little things. It would be great if you had a quest. Or they had a quest. Let's leave a mark here. Let's get a bed here. The endless stands askew, slowly cleaning a mug with a rotten rag. He spits on the rag, apparently in an attempt to killingly at us, but a piece of his lip comes off in the attempt. As I live and rot, and honest to God's breather. We don't get many of you passing around Slepture these days. Welcome to the rotten coffin. We've got a bed to rent, the only genuine mattress in all of the tombs of the endless. We also got ghost booze. What have we got to drink? No supplies. We got plenty of ghost wine. Recently, my partners have been hankering from some good old-fashioned mortal booze. So, if you come across any Vionian fine wine, I'll give you a good price for it. Nothing. How's the air taste? I'd like to rent a bed. Here you are. Thanks, brother. Just follow the stairs up. It's up there. Alright. Oh, ghost. The rotten coffin, my favorite haunt. The ghost looks you quite pleased with himself. You dare not think how many times he's told that joke. Reading all that. I never entered a mausoleum back when I was a breather. Long ago. I knew I could never leave these trees. Yeah, it smelled so. I can't recall how the air smelled anymore, but it must have been good. So I dawdled, and the museum's filled up. And the things about being in the sea is that the pain dulls everything. Anhedonia sets in. Pleasure seeps away, and those old trees only mock me now. My favorite haunt. Fucking love that guy. He's awesome. Okay, let's... Alright. Do that. Anything else that I wanna... no. I wanna add this. Magic. Ghost wine. Make some Birion ore. Don't need that right now. Don't know what that would create. Don't know what that would create. Let's try. Okay, just gave me an exceptional spirit. Let's try that. Gave me an exceptional spirit. Fuck me. That'll give me an exceptional spirit. That'll give me exceptional spirit. Okay. Makes me the silk one. I'm gonna just save them for now. And... oh, wait, maybe at nighttime you can see the, thing that I was looking for earlier. Oh, wait. I don't know if that would help. The volume. Ooh, fuck me. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, no, I need to go. Yeah. The utility of moving faster is too good to just, like, not have on pretty much at all times. Because there's a lot of just... fast travel is far and few and far between. So the ability to cut that down is increasingly necessary. All right. Let's try some fun. Okay, didn't see anything there. That is fair. Don't really want to go there. That... I could make that jump. I could make that jump definitely if I went up here. I'm ready for some bullshit. Bop. Bada bop. There we go. That's why that spell is so useful. Lets you do bullshit like that. Oh wait. Money. Nothing around there. In days past, I fought the Lord Rider in the Cadaver Crusades, would feast on the flesh of mortals, such as yourself. This marks nothing personal, you understand. But sage days of glory over. Now I must eat that mindless slot, penitent thaw, bruise up in the flesh form of hers. Okay. You're asking to be killed. I get it. I feel that way too sometimes. No, I will not elaborate. Aha! A mortal traveler. Unusual to see one of your kind within the realm of the endless. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the castle of Rebs. Pray tell, my friend, what brings you to our kingdom? I'm here to visit the Queen of Silver. Alas, the Queen isn't accepting visitors at this time, or any time really. She is withdrawn most days. She will speak to me and me alone. Perhaps I could put her in better mood. I doubt it, but I suppose I have nothing to lose by letting you try. Go ahead, if you can raise her out of her expression, without exaggeration, I will be, without exaggeration, eternally grateful. The Senschlash stands aside, allowing you passage deeper into the Castle of Ribs. Alright, do I got my helmet on? I got my fine cap on. Ooh, I do be looking fine. The queen cast her gaze upon you. You are overcome with a wave of melancholy, so profound it drives you to your knees. Oh, hello. I am afraid I am not receiving visitors at the moment. Please talk to my Senshel. He will attend to you faithfully. What seems to be the matter, your majesty? Ragged lips peel back from you, long yellow teeth. She seems to be attempting a smile. You are a curious one, aren't you? But I can assure you there's nothing out of the ordinary. Put quite simply, I'm feeling the same as I did yesterday. The same I will tomorrow. 200 years ago, you would have found me in the same castle, in the same seat, feeling the same as I do now. That's awful. I have adjusted to it. I exist now in tranquility, and have no desire for your pity. Many questions, your majesty. Oh, good. What do you know about the entombed one? I believe it is my father. After the ritual to grant him immortality went wrong, he fled beneath the castle and got lost within its twisting passages. Are you sure it's him? I know it in my bones. What if I went down there and tried to stop him from shaking the island apart? You are welcome to try. I believe my Sensual has the key, but I don't expect you to succeed. Shouldn't you do something? Do what? Send guards down there? I've done so. I do not return. Go down there myself? Never. I cannot bear to see him again. What other questions? I see. Well, you may go ahead. Some of my questions are of a more personal nature. If you must. Tell me about your father. My earliest memory of him is of him sitting atop his throne, looking so grim. I sung for him. Then, as I hit a particularly high note, his dour face broke into such a broad smile. It was like magic, like the sun had risen over a cemetery. In those days, I would kneel beside my bed and pray to a goddess whose name I have now forgotten, that my father may never die. I was too young to know that gods pay no attention to the prayers of their people. When was the last time you interacted with a mortal? Let me see. Some years ago. Forgot how many a mortal came to the Castle of Ribs seeking to become endless himself. The Sensual was not able to dissuade her. She barged into the throne room much like you have. Turned her away as I turn all such pilgrims away. We will add no more to our number. Thaw must be the last. Do you have heirs? No need for heirs. I will be here forever, and the Endless cannot have children. What other questions, your majesty? See, may. Can I ask you about the Endless? My kingdom? I will oblige. How were the Endless created? A ritual. Masterminded by my father. Ancient history. I wouldn't want to bore you with it. No, please, tell me everything. My father was a healthy man. Never ill, never tired. He seemed to shrug off accidents that would leave a lesser man with broken bones. So it was strange how terrified he was of death. The very idea shook him to his core. So, as I was nearing adulthood, he gathered a legion of mages, and theurgists and priests from across the sky realms, and tasked them to find the secrets of immortality. Judging from the fact you're still around today, it seems to have worked. That old chestnut. Indeed. My brother. Did they? The manner of speaking. Yes. After numerous failed attempts, they devised a solution. It would require dozens of mages casting a spell simultaneously. Extensive constructs of ceremonial shrines, braziers, and idols across the kingdom. A bargain struck with an ancient god, and a sacrifice. Can you tell me about the sacrifice? I don't feel like getting into that now. Long story short, the ritual failed, created a twisted parody of immortality, afflicted with hunger and decay. Instead of infecting just my father, it cursed half the kingdom. Only half? Half of the kingdom were endless and hungry, the other half did not last long. A great devouring commenced. What happened to your father? I don't know. Perhaps he was one of those who remained mortal. The universe is cruel that way. Other questions, Your Majesty? I see. Well, you may go ahead. Ask you about the Endless. No, please tell me everything. What was the name of the god? I do not know. Once I heard my father refer to it as a shadow of a dream, or the dream of a shadow, I forget which. Long story short, the ritual failed. It created a twisted parody of immortality. How long have you ruled over the Endless? Hundreds of years. I forget the exact number. Those earliest days were all fire and war. Blood-red grins in the black of night, hushed meetings over crudely drawn maps. We were young then. We did not call ourselves the Endless. All we knew was that we were hungry. Where are your attendants, your court? No attendants, no court. I sent them all away long ago. That's all for now. I see. Well, you may go ahead. Goodbye, Your Majesty. Why am I down bad for every fucking everything in this game? Alright. I need to make it noon o'clock. That would be going here. Hello. I turned to bed. Here. Alright. Time to make it noon o'clock. Noon o'clock. I'm doing what I like, what the kids nowadays call, robbery. That's his bed. Love that. Modest treasure. Okay, I can make that into something worthwhile. Funnily enough, it is actually worthwhile to buy the like cheapest of those treasures if you come across them, to then turn into more expensive one. Honest treasure. Sure. All right. Believe. Save there. Yes. Okay. All right. Those are good to sell. Screamer. We're always so squeamish. Okay, I can't sell it to you. But 'tis fair. What's down here? Oh. Ooh. Just free shit extraordinaire. Fucking hell. That's a steal. Fuck me. Alright. Zoom in back to my place. Money. Megidson has clearly been tortured. Broken ribs poke through desecrated flesh. His teeth are in splinters. Rusty hook still protrudes from his shoulder. Hello, mate. Megidson, what happened to you? Lord, reacted. What reacted to this? Spits a yellowed tooth onto the ground at your feet. After you told me of the flesh farm being sentient, but it was pretty funny. Told some of my mates about it. They told their mates. But you know it, Lord Ryder is visiting my farm. Smacks me around a bit, as we have much to discuss. What is he doing now? Ryder is going to investigate the rumors about the flesh farm. You can provide them to be true. We'll try to start crusades again. Around here somewhere. You have to stop him, mate. Huh? What? Holy hell. Again, I'm taking your treasure, mate. You hurted my friend. His voice rings from behind golden mask like a freshly struck bell. Bast thee, self-mortal. You stand before Lord Ryder, champion of the Black Trenches, first over the abyss. Mansechore's fall, destroyer of the Treborian fleet. Give me a reason why I shouldn't render you into carrion. You have 5 words to argue a case. Don't think there's any need for. Ah, damn. How many was that? We've no cause for. One wrong move, you die. Ah, so you have backbone after all. Not like most of your kind. Very well. I will tolerate your presence in my abode. Pray that I do not change my mind. Why did you torture poor Megidson? He came to me with some very interesting information. I had to know more, and I thought he was keeping secrets from me. But it seems he was just as ignorant as he claimed to be. So you've heard the rumor that the flesh farm is self-aware? Ah, word travels fast, I see. You've heard it. It is the final evidence that our kingdom must finally change its degenerate course and return to our golden era. What do you intend to do? I've already sent word to some old comrades in arms. Apparently the flesh farm only communicated with mortals. First, we're going to hire a mortal who will prove that these rumors are true. To that, well, if all goes to plan, the crusade will begin anew. Unless we'll never follow you into another crusade. We'll see, mortal. And his daughter. What do you intend to do? You're a monster and called far worse by better mortals than you. Usually just before I tore their hearts from their chest. I want to just kill this guy now. And that's what I have to say. second to do. I could talk to the flesh one. I trust you, mortal, and I don't particularly care if the rumors are actually true. Than to hire a mortal who will say exactly what we want him to say. Alright, well. Yeah, that's feeding flesh. Penitent thaw time. Still have more to... Fucking hell. I know it's the kingdom of the dead, but like, this is completely different rising from the grave. That was so terrible. Oh, goodbye. Oh, I thought it would just launch me into the abyss that is nothingness down below. No, I saw that twinkling. Here. Can't carry any more lockpicks. Oh, I have 18. Back to what I saw. Where was it? It's down there. No. No. Okay. Back to thaw. That could be some speedrun tech. Again, mortal, I presume you have questions. The rider knows about that the flesh is sentient. That's it then. I was hoping you wouldn't have to do this, but here you go. She hands you a bundle of strange robes. These are phage spider eggs, enough of these can skeletonize an entire village in a matter of hours. They'll destroy the flesh farm and leave no trace. Once they hatch, just deposit the eggs on top of the flesh mass. Leave as quickly as you can. Once they hatch, the spiders will devour the flesh in about 35 minutes. How bad would that be? The first one killed tens of thousands of human beings. Do you want that on your conscience? And I'll do it. We understand the severity of the issue. Flash, Lord Rider. Expect me to annihilate a totally unique life form. For the good of the whole world, yes. If the Endless can't feed on flesh farms, we'll launch a second cadaver crusade. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but when we get hungry enough, Lord Rider will start to sound very convincing. Do it. Greetings, human, and thank you for coming back. I was getting lonely. Your creator, Penitent Thought, wants me to murder you. What? No, you're not going to do it, are you? I haven't made up my mind yet. Please, have mercy. Why does she want me to die? This could kill him. I did not choose to be thinking being. It's not a choice I made. It's just what I am. No. Baby. Oh. Why you gotta be alive? Your flesh shall see. Oh, heck. No. $1. I'm not gonna kill it. I know I'm not, but... Not even wearing my fucking fighting stuff. My full fighting. Oh, I can't wait to get that all boosted up. Oh. Oh. The Academy portal is now active. I can't kill the Way of Flesh. He's too good a bean. Fuck. Goddamn, cut it out. You're rattling me bones. I'm thinking that there's probably going to be a much more in-depth, like, system for this. Apostatic Unions, Goblins, and Wiccans all hate me. Darkstar Mercenaries are neutral. Outlaws are friendly. A catch-all term for the various brigands and ruffians inhabiting the Oneric Isle. Now, beings on the fringes of Apostatic Union territory. These islands have been relatively lawless until recently, with the numerous criminal gangs finding safe haven there, though they are often in competition with one another. Word travels fast among the outlaw gangs, and is it possible to garner a reputation as of note? Because, like, there isn't... They don't have an endless one. They don't have, like, the endless monsters. They have goblins. They have Wiccans. Like, these are the three main factions, and this is the main, like, Villa Kalos faction. So it's, like, weird that these... I suppose, like, if you don't kill any of them, that can probably help with later on when the actual story's out. But the goblins are the ones that confuse me. A peculiar bunch of humanoid creatures. Goblins are native to the Oneric Islands. They're often seen wearing crafted wooden masks, attire that is said to be worn in an act of penance for some sort of past misdeed. They live in harmony with the forest, and they're especially fond of the giant moths found there. The Apostolic Union was formed roughly 40 years ago. After its various member realms defeated the Wiccans in the God War, the shared belief is that for humanity to prosper, gods and god worshippers must be exiled from human society. The Union, to call someone devout, is an insult indeed. Even before the world end, Wiccan covens dominated the sky realms. Their various Wiccan covens would negotiate pious contracts between men and gods, holding each to strict codes of conduct. The Apostatic Union, seeking the freedom to pursue their own study of cipher magic, defeated the Wiccans in the God War, and now their power is much diminished. They really need to... You have fucking reach. I have reach. I didn't think about that. I have reach. Okay, got that down on my map. So I'm hoping that there's, like, more ways to gain or lose, like, faction points. Because the way you gain faction points for the Apostatic Union is you kill Wiccans and you kill Outlaws and you kill Darkstar Mercenaries. You kill these three. The way you get stuff for Wiccans is you give them god things. The way you get this one is you give them the godlets. Godlets and godlets. And you can also get stuff for these things by giving them godlets. Can't do anything for these. You can't do anything for these. So far. And that's very, like, okay, what do I... So, I think this is leading me up to go talk to him. Oh, this is very... Oh, this is very indeed. Howdy there, partner. A great creature looms overhead, engulfing you in blasts of putrid warm breath. Though the creature's mouth does not move, a voice creeps through your mind like a choir of whispers, somehow deafening in their unison. You are fortunate, morsel. You are tasteless. This worm has no interest in your flesh. Who is this? They are a collective of thoughts trapped within the mind of this worm. They are endless, a lingering echo of this worm's victims, devoured from within our crypts. It's rare to speak with a morsel such as yourself. We have waited a long time for such an opportunity. Will you help us with a certain matter? Perhaps, but I have questions first. Did you say you were a collection of thoughts? We have long wondered this ourselves. Do our minds persist in this beast's? Are we ghosts? Figments? We cannot say when we first gain consciousness, only that we are no longer individuals with independent thought, but a blend of mind, perfectly entangled. Why do worms eat the endless? Worms are ancient creatures sustained by magic, while we endless escape death with a lingering spell that flows through our blood. So worms are drawn to us like insects to nectar. They feast on magic while we are made of it. As their jaws crush our bones, our lived experience courses through them. They bear witness to our sorrow, sadness, suffering. They do not understand it, but they are addicted to it. Perhaps this is penance for the horrors we committed in the Great Devouring. The irony is not lost on us. So about this task, let us explain. We share a body with this worm. We do not share its hunger. We are, after all, a remnant of its victims, and its feasts do not bring us pleasure. We are powerless to stop the worm ourselves, as we exert only a limited influence on its body. But there may be a way to pacify this creature for a time. We simply need delivery. Delivery of what? We require the urns of anguish sealed deep within the mausoleums. They contain the cremated remains of many endless who long ago were burned by the living. Cruel fate, as their consciousness lingers, but with no body to provide sensation. The endless trapped in those urns exist in a perpetual darkness. So, if they were to join us, it would perhaps be a better fate. Sealed urns have not yet escaped the worm's nose, but the ashes are of such magical potency, we are sure they would satiate the worm, and the mausoleums would be left in peace. Bring us 3 urns of anguish, and you will have our gratitude. 2 reside in the mausoleums, the 3rd is elsewhere. We know not where. Can't I just slay the worm? This chord of laughing rings through your mind. Your delusion is amusing, morsel. What would you slay it with? That needle you carry? No. You would simply be eaten. Furthermore, our cells likely perish. We are in disagreement as to whether that is a desirable outcome. So is there a reward? We maintain a slither of control of the worm's body. We feel a treasure lodged in its throat, accidentally consumed in the last feast. Perhaps we could dislodge it. Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Thank you, morsel. Ka-chow. Yeah, take that. One thing this game really needs is full boss fights, like with actual full mechanics. Like a ranged boss that runs away from you after doing things, a boss that you need to use certain aspects of like your skills to interact with. Just a more interactive fight than you run up to it and you slap it. Because that is far too many fights in this game right now. They just had a combat update, so like combat has been refined a lot. So and combat just feels better already. This update. So I can't wait for the next update. I'll 100% stream that when it comes out. Wow. God damn, cut it out. Oh. When this game is fully out, I am certain I'll want to do a fucking like I'm certain I'll want to do a challenge run. Sentient worm. Southern mausoleum. Can't interact with. Huh? That's the cave that leads out. So I suppose it leads out there. That's the... We're up here. Hold up. Hold up. That is there. So... There is... secret... I guess it's not in the game yet? Huh? That... I'm very confused about that now. Oh, secret money. Secret tunnel, through the mountain, secret tunnel. No. Up I go. In I go. Down I go. You can go, you can reach pretty damn far, but you can't reach that far. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's just rude. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Uh, 14 out of 15. Grab you. 17 out of 15. Nice. 4. Got a 6. Where's my delusion? There should be a third. Yep, that's a third. What do you give me? Lock bug. This lock bug will weaken a lock's mechanism, making locks easier to pick. The lock bug species is known for their love of intricate environments. This one has had Cypher etched into its carapace to make it the thief's best friend. Hey, howdy, howdy. How's it hanging? Yeah, let's go. And that's pretty fucking cool. What's a snap crackle poppin'? Let's see what the puzzle is this way. Oh, you just came to do a heckin' support. That was good. Thank you so much for your support. Wow. And this one just seems to be a single trap. And there's a bunch of traps. I suppose this one wasn't like a trap that you could avoid like the other ones, and that one was technically harder. That seems like the much easier way to go. Funny how games do that. I would hope in the future there is more puzzles in this game. Just because, like... Oh, wait. You. 17 out of 18. You're a normal. You're a normal. Is there any more gold lockpicks around? Oh, 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 oh. There was one at a grave somewhere nearby. Oh, where? Fun fact. This game is in early access. This game is not yet fully released. This is an older game. This game came out this year. Someone made it in this design, this art style, to emulate a sort of Morrowind field. Yeah, it's really fucking good though. That's why it like plays and feels so well. It's got like decent like fucking this. Let's get that out. Faction system, your abilities, your background, your stats of different things. Exactly. That's like the point of it. It's supposed to be basically like Morrowind, like in style and sort of gameplay, but also a horror game. Like not horror. I've said this so many times now. It's not horror in the sense of like, oh god, jump scare. Ah, that's spooky. It's horror in like the world is in fucking ruins. Everything is fucked up. You have to make horrible decisions that make you feel like a horrible like a horrible person. Like this entire kingdom that I'm in right now is called the Realm of the Endless. I just cast a healing buff on myself so I can regenerate health. I don't think I've heard of that. Or I don't think I know of it. But like this kingdom that I'm in is called the Endless Realm. It's filled with like if you see the name of this stream right now, entering the Endless Realm, the Isle of Living Corpses. And well, I say that because there was a king wanted to be immortal because death scared the fucking shit out of him. So he tried to perform a spell that would make him immortal, but he fucked it up, and everyone's immortal, but they're basically zombies. Their bodies are like rotting. They still live no matter what, and it's just they live every moment with a deep hunger for living that only a living flesh can provide. And come on. And they're cursed to forever live. And this is I'm doing a quest for this worm that has that has had the creatures that it ate souls become part of its body. Greetings, oh tasteless morsel. We are pleased to find that you still smell disgusting. I have the urns you wanted. Yes, yes. Beasts can smell them. Its hunger grows. For your own sake, Morsel, drop them where you stand, lest you be devoured. You drop the urns just before the worm's massive jaws and close them in a single terrible motion. For a moment, the creature is deadly still, and a great spasm moves through its body. Such potency, such dreadful flavor. The worm is overwhelmed, Morsel. We can already feel our ancient allies joining us. Please, take this. The worm convulses, and with a horrible sound, it coughs up a treasure chest, encased in a large mound of phlegm. We bid you farewell, Morsel. This worm has overcome with a great energy. It will fly, then it will sleep. So, like, this kingdom is, like, kind of fucked up for that. Then there's a whole bunch of other things. It's just a game where everything is fucked up, no matter what. Ghosts are still feeling the pain of their deaths. So on and so forth. It's really fucking good, though. Alright. And they're gonna add another kingdom called the Clockwork Kingdom. Oh, absolutely. That the world down below used to be inhabitable, but there was something called the World Rend, where basically the world just became an uninhabitable wasteland. Oh, and actually, I'm gonna finish a quest. Yeah. And it's like a mix of futuristic and sci-fi fantasy sort of setting. Because there's airships, like Clockwork Kingdom. There's mechanical things, a lot of like more mechanical things. And the Endless had years and years where they feasted on the living. And they had like a war against the living. And it was called the Cadaver Crusade. And they used knights like these to fight in them. But one person, a few hundred years ago, Pennant Shaw, immortal, created something known as the Flesh Farm. Da, da, da. This is the Flesh Farm. And it's a non-sentient blob of meat that they can eat without any moral problems. But here's the thing. Please spare me. I did nothing wrong. It's gained sentience. So now I have a quest that is either kill it and basically stop a future where the Cadaver Crusades would start up again, where they would go out and hunt for their meat once more. And so going out and just hunting people in the far future. Or so that's my those are my options. Kill it or not kill. Don't kill it. If I kill it, it would stop the Cadaver Crusade. It would stop possible Cadaver Crusades in the future. But I would kill a sentient being that just wants to live and survive. If I don't kill it, then it gets to live, and I won't have like that consciousness on my head. Your creator, Penitent Thaw, wants me to murder you. What? No, you're not going to do it, are you? No. Good. So afraid. Why does she want me to die? The Endless could kill thousands of people if they're no longer able to feed on you. Please, I did not choose to be a thinking being. It's not a choice I made. It is just what I am. Spare the way of flesh and crush the eggs. Crush the spider eggs in your hand. They burst into harmless goo. Don't worry, I'm not going to murder you. You won't? Thank you so much. You have the same plump flesh. Same beating heart. I knew you would not forsake me. Well, goodbye, Magotson. I I couldn't kill him. Cool. Do you know what you've done? With this proof, Retta would start another crusade. In the end, it is your kind who will suffer mortal. You are satisfied with your pathetic display of morality. Short-sighted morality. Oh, that's her ex-husband, by the way. So yeah. She uses him as uh, a focus for all her spells and magic she wields. It is a torturous existence for him, to be sure. But yeah, also, I can go speedy fast. Speedy fast is just what I need to do. Oh, hey, hi. Right. I don't need to be wearing this. Let me wear my actual helm again. All right. I can. Oh, I need to talk to that guy again. I'm fucking dumb. Gotta go this way. Oh, I have more delusions. Persona. 10, 10, 7, 7. That's a good split. Ooh. Hello. Hail and well met, my mortal friend. How may I be of assistance today? Do you have any theories about the entombed one? Yes. Have you experienced one of the recent earthquakes? Terrible business. I have reason to believe that the entombed one is a lingering specter of the hooded king, getting his revenge on the kingdom that left him for dead. Someone needs to find him and persuade him to abandon his vendetta. By force, if necessary. I can try. You would do that? I would be in your debt. Here, take this. It's a key to the crypt beneath the castle. The entombed one is somewhere down there. But yeah, this game is still very much in early access. As like, so there's a main story happening. Like, you would hope that there's a main story for a game that has any sort of story. And well, the main story for this game has the very first mission you do, and then it has one part of 3 of the next section. Well, technically it's 4 parts because you talk to one person who sent you into 3 different parts, which only one of those 3 parts. So, oh hey. Wait, cut that out. Gotta say, just that little change is a decent. Um, ooh. There's also a whole stamina system where, well, if your stamina gets too low, that it's like a fatigue meter. So you either need to sleep or down a stamina potion. And yeah, it's really good. It's actually like really fucking cool. The door smiles and extends its fangs. Only those loyal to the king may pass. Allow it to drink from your wrist. The door sinks its fangs into your wrist. It drinks and drinks and drinks until your legs feel weak. Your arm is numb. Finally, it releases you. Your blood is tainted by treachery. You may not pass. Let me through. What the... let's check the quest. Things. Yes, the crypts are guarded by a fang door, which only permits entry to those loyal to the king. That's the essential about this. Alright, so it's sending me back up. No. Hello. Hail and well met, my mortal friend. How may I be of assistance today? There's a fang door on the crypt that won't let me pass. Oh dear, that sounds like one of the hooded king's little tests that we'd found and dispelled them all. We'll need to find someone who's still loyal to the old king. Convince them to give them your blood. Not an easy task, I appreciate. Could I use your blood? No, I'm afraid I would definitely not be considered. I would definitely be considered a traitor by the spell. We're better off looking elsewhere. I'm guessing the people that were in the crusade may... Oh, wait, it's midday. I'm just fucking breaking into that man's house. No. I'd like to run to bed. Here you are. Let's breathe out. Just follow the stairs up. It's right up there. Save. Time changing time. Oh, wait. Gotta talk to him. Ah, the rotten coffin. My favorite haunt. Ghost looks quite pleased with itself. You dare not think how many times that it has told that joke. Good on you, my man. Good on you. Yeah, there we go. That's probably the best time. One more time. My favorite haunt. Hee hee hee. No. No, I want to talk to this guy. In days past, I fought with Lord Ryder in the Cadaver Crusades. We would feast on mortals such as yourself, he smirks. Nothing personal, you understand. Such days of glory are over. I must eat the mindless slop pinned at the brews up in those flesh farms of hers. Not so mindless no more. Oh boy. If only that were the thing. Moldy Cauldron. How's business? Ha! Business. I mostly just sit here and watch the rodents chew on my feet. Well, back there things used to be a bit more exciting. Now and then, some folk from Hollowshire would come to trade. They'd always look petrified and would never tarry long. The breathers for goods fetch a good price down in the mausoleums. Recently, breathers' business has dried up. Been told it's because of something called an apostalati union, but I have no idea what that is. Let's see what you got for sale. Alright. 4 lots of treasure. Ooh, those are gonna be good for making into liquor. Okay, yeah, no, not you. Tree smell, totaled. Nope. Does it? Find someone. Are you loyal to the Hooded King? Can I ask you some questions? That's all I want to ask. Goodbye. I'm gonna go fuck myself. Oh wait, is it gonna be this fucko? Greetings, delicious fleshling. By enchantment, I am about to grant you assistance instead of peeling the meat from your bones. Back away slowly. So he's causing a ruckus. Why are you causing a ruckus? Of course I am. Before his untimely end was his right-hand man. And if he were to reappear tomorrow, I would kneel at his feet and offer him my sword without question. This is going to be strange, but I need a sample of your blood. Ryder considers it for a moment, then pulls a dagger from his belt, slices his palm open. This is for one of the king's tests of loyalty, I assume. Here you go. Take as much as you need. One of the king's loyalty gates still linger. I am interested to see what lies beyond it. You collect as much of Lloyd Ryder's treacly black blood as you can. Thank you, Lord Ryder. I'll kill you later. No. If you're asking why, if you're ever wondering why I do that, it's because that gets rid of like the death by falling. It'll always save you at least one, so even if I do fuck up. Offer at the bottle of blood. The door lunges for your arm, but you manage to position the blood bottle beneath one fang instead. The door eagerly drinks until the bottle is empty. Satisfactory. You may pass. You may pass. All hail the hooded king. Oh, icky. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what's on this side? Sure you can. This is water. Wee. I embraced a delusion. Right, I'm even more delusional. $37 is max level wisdom. She floats above you. Furious, bristling with disdain, she resembles the Queen of Silver, but aflame with inner light. Hello, mortal. Bow. Better. Tell me, who's it that dares to trespass within my domain? Oh? I am no one, your majesty. Correct. My kingdom rots. Soon I will destroy this entire island, along with all my subjects. I will end this wretched curse and finally grant my subjects the eternal peace they crave. Questions? Where's the hooded king? My father? My fool of a father? You found him. She gestures dismissively at the pile of bones sitting forlornly in the middle of the floor. There lies the hooded king, the man who sacrificed his daughter for immortality. Should have seen him squirm and weep. Where's the hooded king? 3 centuries ago, and I still cherish the memory of murdering him. He begged, he wept, he threw himself at my mercy instead of mercy. Found a hand wrapped around his windpipe. The ghost of the Queen of Silver, an echo of her trauma. I was born when she walked herself into quicksilver and drowned the bidding of her father. I am her bitterness, her resentment, her rage. How can I persuade you not to do this? I cannot. I am inevitable as death itself. What if your subjects don't want to be killed? They do. There are thousands of rotting men and women who want out there, ravaged by hunger and pain, huddled within mausoleums and waiting for death. They are calling for my mercy. I can hear them in my heart. begging to be freed from their suffering. As it goes powerfully, anger has its own power, mortal. My anger is endless. You're the one causing these earthquakes. Of course, someone needs to give this kingdom a good shaking. I'm weakening the island's foundations. Soon it will shatter. Other questions? All right. Thank you. I have reset my position. Hooah. That's all I want to know. And I'm glad of it. Farewell, ghost. Assume she's talking about this one. I think she's becoming like a sort of god of her own. Because there are gods in this world. Though their worship has been outlawed by many a place. Why did I... Don't know why I did that. No. Actually, I can show Pageth after this quest. Ooh. Sometimes you just go a little bit too fast. I have spoken to the entombed one. Oh, you did? Was I right? Is it the Hooded King? Yeah, it's... Like, and I can go faster. My agility isn't maxed out. I don't have the maxed out speed armor. It's just... I can go so much faster. Like, oh god. No. It is a ghost of the Queen's sacrifice. Really? I had no idea a ghost could be so powerful. Perhaps you should talk to Penitent Thaw about that. She'd know more. Did you at least persuade the Queen's ghost to stop causing the earthquakes? No, not yet. You should speak to the Queen. This is her ghost after all. Perhaps she can offer insight. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like... Fucking... This is too much speed. If this didn't stop fall damage... Like, fall damage still wouldn't be too much of a problem. But, holy hell. You get model. You have questions. Questions about the Endless. Queen of Silver. That's all I want to know. Okay. You busy woman. That's all I want to know. Oh, goodbye. I want to speak to my best friend, the vat of meat. Oh, ow. Okay, look at that baby. Oh, fun fact, in the most recent update, like, which was just very, very recently, the crosshair was added. It's hard to see, but, like, if you, like, look at the center of the screen, there is a crosshair. Like, a visible one. Before that, there just wasn't one of those, so you had to guess sort of, like, where the center of the screen was. Yes. But there used to not be one, and before there's a bow and arrow. There still is. There's also magic. This is a very quick one, and the only crosshair you had was the magic being centered. So it's very obscure, but when you're playing it, like, it just becomes intuitive. Like, you know where it is. You know it. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there is also, I can get rid of the retro, get rid of the wobbly textures. Turn. This is it without all those things. But I quite like retro resolution. Just adds that little bit extra. Like, everything becomes like just a little bit, it becomes less like flat, in my opinion. Wobbly textures are funny. Yes, and there's also wobbly 3D options. But this one annoys me because it's hard to like see or understand some things in the world. But yes, they have like super nostalgia functions. So I don't like the wobbly 3D. I don't mind the wobbly textures. Like just when you look at something and you can move it around. As the queen casts her gaze upon you, you are overcome with a wave of melancholy, so profound it almost drives you to your knees. Greetings, mortal. Did you have more questions? The entombed one is a ghost created by your sacrifice, to your majesty. Yes, I know. But you told me the entombed one was your father. I was not lying. I see more of my father in that ghost than I see myself. I last saw her 2 centuries ago, when I took Penitent Thaw down there to become one of the Endless. Penitent knew of this too. She is the only other who knows. It is unavoidable. The only way that I could grant your request to become an Endless. What exactly is she? She is both spell and sacrifice. Partially a ghost, and partially the lingering remnant of the spell that turned the whole kingdom into Endless. It's one reason why she is so powerful, and why I needed her help to turn Penitent Thaw into the Endless. Her power is growing far beyond what she used to be capable of. I think she is being fueled by my subjects' growing faith in the ferryman. The scriptures tells them to look forward to death, and their prayers for their own self-annihilation are like fuel to the entombed one's flame. She could escape easily if she wanted to, but she refuses to stop haunting my father's bones. How can I persuade her not to destroy the kingdom? I can think of one thing. The queen places something in your palm. A topaz necklace. The gemstone is inscribed with a complex sigil. This was the necklace I wore during the ritual. Perhaps it will remind her that a queen's purpose of all is to serve the needs of her kingdom. Alright. Venus, Quartermaster, Wobbly Noggin, Hollershire, Piscine, Bridge. We don't need bones. Did that one pretty soon. All good things. Okay, I want to go to that real quick, but I need to not rest, but to get my mana back. This is gonna hurt. Yeah. It stops you from dying from a fall, but it doesn't stop all the damage you take. There's a ring somewhere, some fucking where. It gets rid of it, though. Scholar has one eye pressed to her looking glass, her face crumpled into a grimace. What a wretched place, eh? Even the trees barely cling to life. I cannot fathom why I was sent here, all places, to make this damned map. Why must I chart these isles? Does the Academy's plan to start grave digging? There's naught else to do. I have several charts to hand in. Excellent. Yes, these will do nicely. The detail is here impressive. You, for one of your limited experience, please take this in recompense. Well, goodbye. So far, like, the playable areas of the game, that's the town, that's like right underneath it, and that's where I am now. So you got not like an exceptional amount, but it's like there is a lot here, and there's a whole nother kingdom gonna be over here, and I think there's probably going to be more over time. But yeah. You know, it looks like two eyeballs just like, yes, you can enter. She floats above you, imperious, furious, bristling with disdain. She resembles the Queen of Sivir, but aflame with inner light. Hello, mortal. See this necklace, Your Majesty? Do you remember why you sacrificed yourself in the first place? For a moment, the entombed one stares at the topaz necklace with something like yearning on her face. Then her eyes harden. She grabs the necklace from you and crushes the topaz to dust between two fingers. Sacrifice. Queen above thinks she can remind me of what it means to serve the kingdom. I am serving the kingdom, far better than she ever did while sitting depressed in her throne room. This kingdom is begging to be destroyed. Its people are miserable, and they call to me to bring their long lives to an end. You can't decide that on their behalf. The entombed one turns to you, her skin blazing with inner light. Please, mortal, consider my side of the argument. I know I ask a lot. I ask for the destruction of an entire kingdom. But no new souls have been born here for centuries. No children, no youths. The only great changes to the status quo have been spurred on by mortals. First Penitent Thaw, and now you. The Endless themselves are tired, and bored, and rotten. They hide inside mausoleums and do nothing, pretending to be dead. They hunger for mortal flesh, and if the flesh farms failed, they would resume their crusades in an instant. They lack the courage to end themselves, but they yearn for it. Listen to my plea, mortal. Help me destroy this accursed kingdom. Don't destroy this land, Your Majesty. You know there's still hope. No, there is no hope. Only failure and stagnation. Alright. Gotta put on my extravagant cap now. Listen to reason. Oh, really? And how do you know that? Is your desire to destroy this kingdom not born of love? You still care deeply for your subjects. The Queen came to you with Penitent Thaw. You agreed to help. You turned her into an Endless. Of course I did. The flesh farms were a marvel. Overnight our kingdom was rescued from being a land of marauders and murderers. If the situation was truly helpless, why would you have helped? She considers this for a long time. Your words have a weight to them, mortal. The weight of the years is already immense. There's a few more matter. Perhaps things will get better. Before your eyes, the burning rage roiling just beneath the entombed one's skin starts to dwindle and dim. Leave me be. You have given me much to think about. Okay. The question has to be asked. If she was able to get in there, does that mean she is still loyal to the Hooded King? Or did she have some way to bypass it? Did she take the blood of one of her subjects that is loyal to the Hooded King and not to her? Questions? Oh, endless. As the Queen casts her gaze upon you, you are overcome with a wave of melancholy. So profound it almost drives you to your knees. Greetings, mortal. Did you have more questions? The entombed one has stopped her efforts to destroy the kingdom. Excellent work, mortal. I never thought I'd see the day. You persuaded her in the end. Not your necklace, that's for sure. Hope for a better future. The entombed one wanted to destroy the kingdom, yet she secretly still held a kernel of hope. Remarkable. Hope feels so foreign to me. Queen of Silver sigh. settling back into her throne. So we buy just another few years of our endless existence. Joy. With that, my speed enhances once more. I chose the speed backstory, so like my agility is even faster. So I'm even like, I'm speedier. Got that speed. Speed boost, you know. Just extra bit. I genuinely wonder, like, what is the next step? Because 4 more levels, I will hit max level. And I should not be anywhere near max level. I've done everything I can now, I believe. The only thing to do is go to the Erudite Academy, possibly. Was that down here? I think it was. It was. Okay, Erudite Academy. Farewell. Okay, wait, no, I can't. Well, the fucking douche canoe up here fucking help. Hello, Senor Douche Canoe. What with you? Alright, no, you don't want anything. So, only other thing I might be able to do for now, in the state of the game as it is, Bella's gunship. Go up here and see what I can do with the people here. Oh yeah, this is a god. It used to be like a higher, like one of the highest gods, but because worship has been outlawed and destroyed, basically, it is much lower now. It is a god that can pluck people on the verge of death out from their situation and place them in a better place and like bring them to it. So it can stop you from dying, and that's how they like circumvent death in this game. And this is a hottie I have a major crush on. The Emberian. Ah, the blinding light, you know? I thought I'd never see this place again. How are you settling in? It's my skin crossing Inquisition agents scurrying around. Keep thinking they're gonna grab me and throw me in a cell. If siding with this lot is the only way to get to Villa, I suppose I'll have to get used to it. Ask you something. That's all I want to know. Yeah, no, nothing new. The blinding light. Remember when we captured this place from its Union caretakers? He smirks. Back when we thought we could get away with anything. Something I want to ask. What the dark stars I'm looking for? Right, want to hear some more info? The Endless Duchess. The Endless Duchess. She's a powerful cipher wizard. She went back to her ancestral home in the Endless Realm, and like all those you will find there, she's cursed to never truly die. Something tells me you won't be able to find them just yet. Call it a hunch. Okay, so the Emberian is the only one of these 3 that you can get so far. So there's another like whole main quest like the Emberian one that I did. And there's the entire Caxton Frost one, which is in an entire another kingdom. Let me check. Caxton Frost. Caxton Frost, a genius engineer of the Clockwork Kingdom. The man could engineer a skyship from a sack of junk. Last I heard, he returned to his homeland. Only something tells me you won't be able to find them just yet. Call it a hunch. Yeah, that's all. Okay, gonna get going. Would it be faster to do that or that? Methinks going to this would be fastest. You know. Hollow Town. I'm going to put my save right here. The only other things that I would have to do in this game are just money and item grabbing and like trying every combination. I don't think there's too many more that I've missed. Because it just doesn't seem to be anything. Oh, and there's another eldritch god, Pagath. He's up there. I've hidden him from the Eye of the Union. And he made these trees bear fruit. Don't worry about these fruit. This fruit. Sure, nothing's wrong with it. Another thing this game needs to work on is slowly getting better. What's the word? Getting better upgrades? No. Dialogue choices. Like, you change things in the world and like it it shows more in the world. Like Pagath just recently did that when you serve him. Make all right, you do you. That's the god that I freed and lives up there now. Just recently did this, but like none of the townsfolk or anyone speaks about it or talks about it. Just kind of sad. This is most definitely the place where it'll let you get into the Clockwork Kingdom. Can I? 30 agility. It's 90. Okay. Give me a fucking second. Alright. Gotta see if I can get us into the Clockwork Kingdom early. How much silk do I have? Do I have none? I have none. No, I have 3. Okay. That can be fixed up into... It gave me back one of these. Okay. So that's another recipe that I now know. Wasted a thing to use it. Huh. Okay. And okay, yeah. Up here is where I want to go. All right, I need to go back to my house. And take a nice long rest there. Of course, it's not down here. All right, that's the last thing we're gonna do tonight. Gonna attempt the fucking... Gonna attempt the escape of a lifetime to the Endless Kingdom so we can check it out before it's actually ready. It's showing me like I've gained. You're still fucking here. Fuck off. I truly wonder, will this kill me? Let's just go to midday. Invigorating dreams. Your dreams of soaring through the sky realm. Your wings take you over dense forests, sprawling metropolises, and crumbling ruins. You land in a field of brilliant flowers. Under a green star and a cold breeze embraces you. You wake, inspired, knowing that anything is possible. You barely notice the blood on your pillow. Okay, no, that still healed me. Alright. Do this. Do that. Let's see. No, put two of these together. Yeah. Let's see what that made. That made a weak spirit. Of course it did. Wow. Okay. So that has upped my skills up to that, which has led to 110 agility. Doesn't last forever, but it lasts for a good long time. What is it? What is it called? Lucky. Okay, I'm not sure if I can stack the lucky buff, but I sure as fuck hope I can. Because there's lucky from that, and then there's lucky from a potion of luck. Okay. Yep, over here is where I want to be. And I know I'm on a fetus fruit, and accept, drink. Wow, that one is much shorter. Okay, we made it to this kingdom. We're not supposed to be here yet. This place is still under development, so there's nothing actually like here. But like, sneak peek. Okay, I need to remove my speed set and go back to my strength. Yeah, there's nothing really here. But the buildings are placed. Things are done. This is a taste of what's to come. Apparently there's like clockwork, like automaton monsters that are gonna fuck with you, like train and a few other things. So yes, I'm quite looking forward to that. Wow. But yeah, you're not supposed to get over here just yet. Not one bit. Oh, actually, the bridge might be over here. That might free up a bit more space around that. No, the bridge is definitely up there. Because they have the markings near the bridge almost always. They have a road leading to it. They have two of these things. Yeah, the bridge is going to be right here. But that is going to be a later update. Oh, wait. I need to try something. Okay. Give me that. Wrong one. We're gonna watch that. We're gonna watch those dudes over there. If you're liking what I'm doing, giving me a follow would really, really help me out. And any monetary like assistance you can give, any donations, any like subscriptions, anything like that would really, really help me out. But it's never, never necessary. But thank you if you do. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. It's awesome having you. If you could subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff, that would really help me out there too. Again, thank you so much for all the assistance that you give me and for hanging out and watching my stuff.